What's your favorite scary movie?
Groovy.
Hello, I'm Nick, and this is Arrow in the Head's Killer Guide to Horror. The other day I was messing around with one of those new Rubik's Cubes that everyone's talking about. You're supposed to line up all the colors so that they're on the same side. It's like, whatever. It's impossible. Nobody's ever gonna solve that thing. Anyway, I was talking to my buddy over the phone, and he told me if I was a fan of the Rubik's Cube that I should try this thing called the Lament configuration. The what? The Lament configuration. It's this neat little puzzle box that when you open it up, a group of terrifying demon creatures known as the Cenobites appear and torture your soul for eternity. Their leader? Pinhead. They call him that because he has a bunch of pins in his head.
He's got pins in his head.
At least I assume that's why. I don't know why else they would call him that. Completely ignoring whatever reason my friend might have had for thinking I'd be interested in that, I decided to delve deeper into the matter. Which was stupid. It turns out that once upon a time, this terrifying creature was human. Elliot Spencer was a World War I veteran who had trouble dealing with life after war, so he opened the box. Now Elliot's days consist of wearing an extremely uncomfortable looking outfit and hanging out with a bunch of equally terrifying looking friends, just waiting for those dumb or unfortunate enough to summon him.
The box. You opened it. We came.
Who are you?
Demons to some, angels to others.
Once you summon Pinhead and his entourage, there is no escape. Except that time that somebody escaped.
It's Frank. It's Uncle Frank.
No.
You remember?
No.
Come to Daddy.
But he got it in the end. Boy, howdy did he. I mean, okay, I've talked about some scary dudes over the last few months, all of which can kill you in horrible ways. Pinhead is no exception. He is one tough customer. Not only is he immune to things like bullets and other weapons, yes, axes too, but he also has supernatural abilities. Such as summoning hooks and chains to mutilate his victims, which is so gross. The difference between Pinhead and those other guys is the only thing you have to do to avoid him is not open that box. It's very simple. He can't get you unless you summon him, and the only way to summon him is by... I don't understand why people keep opening that thing. I did it!
Welcome to hell.
Hello, my name is Nick, and this is Arrow in the Head's Killer Guide to Horror. You know what I'm afraid of more than anything in the world? Being alone. You know what else I'm afraid of? I made a list. Snakes, hot air balloons, children, permanent marker, Robert Zemeckis animated movies, and death.
The funeral is about to begin, sir.
Okay.
Look at this guy. Once upon a time, he was a mortician named Jebediah Morningside. Jebediah was obsessed with death. So obsessed, in fact, that he developed a machine that would enable him to travel through time and space. This machine somehow gave him immortality and an all-around terrifying demeanor. Nowadays, he's simply known as the Tallman.
Boy!
What makes the Tallman so scary? Hang on, I made another list. Superhuman strength, the ability to shapeshift, his blood is yellow, gross. He steals dead bodies, takes their brains, shrinks them down, and turns them into Jawas. When I die, I don't want to be a Jawa. Oh yeah, then there's that thing. What the f*** is that? It's called a sentinel, and it's the Tallman's primary weapon. Sentinels are armed with everything from blades to drills, saws, lasers. There's no limit to their abilities. If the Tallman can dream it, these terror spheres can do it. Unlucky for us, there are a brave few that have dedicated their lives to stopping the Tallman.
Not bad. We're hot as love, you know.
Unlucky for us, they're not very good at it, because it's been more than 35 years and his reign of terror is still going strong. What's up? Can't be that hard.
Now remember, you don't aim a gun at a man unless you intend to shoot him. And you don't shoot a man unless you intend to kill him. No warning shots. Hey, you listening to me?
Yeah.
No warning shots. Warning shots are bullshit.
That is one big sphere.
Boy!
Hello, my name is Nick, and this is Arrow in the Head's Killer Guide to Horror. Hello.
Do you like scary movies?
God, no. Guys, I have got some big news. Are you ready? I'm in love. Her name is Sydney Prescott. She is my sun and stars. Dude, not now. Sydney left her phone at my place, and now some creepy guy keeps calling every 30 seconds. Listen, bro.
You listen, you little bitch. If you hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand?
So it turns out, my dearly beloved has a bit of a haunted past she neglected to tell me about. A past involving murder. Lots and lots of murder.
Do you want to die, Sydney?
This is the Ghostface Killer, not to be confused with Ghostface Killer. Totally different person.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Remember me?
This image has been tormenting poor Sydney and her friends for years. The only question is, who is the psychopath behind the mask? Well, as it turns out, lots of people. First, it was her boyfriend Billy with the help of his best friend Stu.
Surprise, Sydney.
A year later, Billy's vengeful mother went after Sid along with Raylan Givens.
You're psychotic.
Yeah, well, shh.
A little while after that,
Roman Bridger, director. And brother.
Sydney had a brother? But wait, we're not done.
Why? Because you talk too much.
After several years without a murder spree, Sydney finally returned to her hometown of Woodsboro, and surprise, surprise.
Time for someone new to die.
This time it was Sydney's cousin Jill and a kid who looks a lot like Kevin McAllister. Luckily, Sid always had a few loyal companions she could count on. Deputy Dewey Riley.
Gail!
He endured his own rocky relationship with reporter Gail Weathers.
Dewey, what's going on?
It is not public information.
It's all over the internet.
It is?
Why are you even here, Randy? You'll never be the leading man.
Fuck you!
Then there's Randy Meeks, the man who knew all the rules when it came to surviving these situations.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
Until he died. That was sad. I'm starting to have second thoughts about my relationship with Sydney. I would call her and break up with her right now, but her phone is right here. Oh, text message. He's texting now. I was gonna say, phone calls are a little 90s. Hello, I'm Nick, and this is Arrow in the Head's Killer Guide to Horror. You'll have to excuse me, I've been a little on edge recently after hearing news reports of a strange creature roaming through my neighborhood.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yeah? Yeah!
That's right, a leprechaun.
I'm the leprechaun. Garth, I'm the leprechaun.
Cool it, okay?
See, leprechauns are not the happy-go-lucky creatures we were raised to believe hide pots of gold at the end of rainbows, shine your shoes, and occasionally grant you 3 wishes. I mean, they do those things. They're just not so happy-go-lucky about it.
But leprechauns don't exist.
What's that you say? Leprechauns don't exist?
Take this little bastard, for example. Back in 1983, some idiot thought it'd be a good idea to capture him, bring him back to the States, and steal all his gold. 10 years later, an even bigger idiot set the leprechaun free, and he, of course, proceeded to go on a brutal killing spree until all his gold was returned.
One should never try to take a leprechaun's gold. One should never try to take a leprechaun's gold.
He is really protective of that gold.
Have I mentioned that I want the gold?
It turns out there's only one way to destroy a leprechaun, and it's not bullets.
What's up, ninjas?
Ow! How could we kill it?
A 4-leaf clover.
Go figure.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
Both leprechauns and fairies can only be harmed by wrought iron.
Or that. Not very consistent, is he? But like every other douchebag I've covered in this video series, he came back.
Bah! Splendid Canadian. The only whiskey is Irish whiskey.
Then he came back again. And again. In space. Guess what? He came back after that. To the hood. Twice.
I mean, this ain't gonna stunt your growth or anything, is it?
P.S. Drugs are bad.
Me golden, delicious gold.
Luckily, I have no gold or money of any kind for that matter, so I'm just gonna stay locked up in here until this whole thing blows over. Do you think this is what it's like to live in Ireland? I can't imagine having to deal with this every day.
There's something out there.
Mother.
I wanna know what a gold like.
So my buddy calls me up the other Camp Crystal Lake. Back in 1957, a young boy drowned there. A few years later, his mother went crazy and killed a bunch of counselors. And then she got her head chopped off. And here's the kicker. The kid wasn't even dead. So he started killing people, stole a fat kid's hockey mask, and has been terrorizing victims in the woods ever since. And you want me to go camping? I eventually said yes. And here's why. First of all, I'm an adult. Jason tends to prey on teenagers and members of law enforcement, of which I am neither. Also, anyone who has sex is basically signing their own death warrant. And I've never even been on a date with a girl, so that's embarrassing. I'll tell you what though, Jason has come back from the dead more times than I can count. And that's not including the time a disgruntled paramedic named Roy dressed up as Jason to avenge the death of the son he abandoned years earlier.
I never really chopped wood before, but it certainly looks like fun.
If you ignore that, which everyone should, I have discovered the one thing that will keep Jason at bay. Water. Jason drowned in water, supposedly. So it makes total sense that Jason would fear water. Right? Imagine this. I'm out in the wilderness, sitting around a campfire when I look up and bam! I'm staring into the eyes of a mass murderer. I whip out my trusty Jason repellent, trademark, let out a few squirts and send the monster running back into the woods where he came from. This is a terrible idea. I mean, listen to this. Jason has even managed to find his way outside the confines of Crystal Lake once or twice. He has been on murder sprees in both New York City and outer space. He killed people in space. All in all, Jason Voorhees has murdered more than 150 people to date. And he's still out there. Yeah, I'm not going on that camping trip. I mean, seriously, I was about ready to take him on with a bottle of water. Oh, that is not good. Fan action.